Hello, friends and IACL fans out there. Welcome back. Welcome to the first IACL Season 2 video. And in this video, I'm going to be going over my draft analysis that we had on Saturday. And it was pretty fun. Besides the fact that I was kind of bitching at the fact that I got sniped so many times, and I kind of got bitched at by Flame, who's the leader of the IACL, for kind of complaining so much. But in the end, I was able to kind of get and I quote decent team, even though I'm kind of ranked dead last when it comes to everybody who I've asked so far in the league, and I'm sure you guys will too, whoever watches this. But yeah, without further ado, let's get on to the team and what the boys that I was able to draft this season. And yeah, here we go. All right, all right. Well, first Pokemon that I was able to somehow snag and draft was Azumarill. And this was going to be my first overall pick in the draft in my original plan, and I got it. So yeah, that was cool. And why did I want to get Azumarill to start? Well, for many reasons, and one of them being that it's one of the best offensive typings in the game with Water Fairy. Stab Play Rough, you get Belly Drum, you get Huge Power, which is one of the best abilities in the game. You get Sap Sipper, so you become a wall to like superior, even though it doesn't exist in our league. No one drafted it, but I can bring it to like wall like Verizon or something. Hashtag 4G 4G Verizon Wi-Fi. Whoever has it, I know someone does. I forgot who though. But yeah. Anyways, look at the moves. I can do quite a bit of stuff with Azumarill. I have my Stab Aqua Jet. I have Encore, which is actually pretty interesting. Even though I have a low speed tier, might be able to Encore something. You never know. I have a Belly Drum to get a sweep. I have a whole bunch of special coverage, even though my special attack is really bad. What is it, like 50? Yeah, 60. It's pretty dang close to being awful. Anyways, what else do I have? I got Ice Beam. Well, Ice Punch is gonna be used most likely. I got Power Punch. I got Play Rough. I have Scald if I want to run defensive. I have Stab Waterfall. I have Superpower. For like Bisharps possibly. Even though Bisharp isn't in this league either. But yeah, my first pick was Azumarill. I was kind of happy with this pick, and I was happy to actually start off a draft with this Pokemon. But after this Pokemon gets picked, it kind of becomes a struggle. As my next pick, which was going to be Heatran, got sniped by my boy Jose. So as a result, there's really not much I can do about that. So I just went out to my third pick, which ended up being my second pick, and it was going to be Latios. Latios, one of the best special attackers in the OU meta tier, meta game, you could say. One of the best special attackers overall. If you include Ubers of like Soldu or just a Mega, it's excellent. But I was happy to get Latios because it kind of gives me the opportunity to work with Dragon Steel Fairy Core, which was going to be really good if Heatran, Azumarill, and Latios, but that didn't get to happen, sadly. But yeah, I was happy to get this because it gives me one of the best defoggers in the game. Gives me the Pokemon with Stab Draco Meteor, which is devastating to almost every single Pokemon in the game except possibly like Registeel, especially defensive and Fairy types. And the only real wall I consider to Latios is kind of Clefable, because one-on-one I kind of lose to like a Thunder Wave, Moonblast, Clefable, and but that's a different story. But yeah, if you look at the moveset, look at its EV spread, look at its EVs. Its lowest base stat is 80, and that is very, very good. Like, think about that in a league perspective. That's excellent. You can run like almost any variant of Latios, really. Like, I can think of 6 different types of Latios. I can run specially defensive, physically defensive. I can run physically offensive with Dragon Dance. I can run just full special attacker. I can run Calm Mind. I can run like bulky with like Toxic, which is really, really bad. Do you get like agility or something? I have no. I get to Memento, so I can like go for Memento and go into Azumarill, get a Belly Drum up, and win the game. I can do lots of stuff. I can go to Celebi, go for Sword Dance, Baton Pass. I can go for Roar. I can go for my dual screens. I can go for Magico. I can go for Toxic. I can go for Thunderwave, Tailwind, Surf, Substitute. Run. I can run Attract. Think about that for a second. I can attract your Pokemon, and I can go for like Substitute or Calm Mind, while you're like fall in love with this sexy beast known as Latios. Oh my god! Like the opportunity with this Pokemon with Azumarill is absolutely like mind-boggling. I didn't really think about it until later on. And yeah, this is my first two picks. I was definitely really satisfied at this point, even though I did lose my Heatran, which was going to be really important because it kind of already almost sealed my Dragon Steel Fairy and my Firegrass Water Core, excuse me, with just Heatran and Azumarill alone. But that doesn't really happen. And my next two picks, you can consider choke picks because I was kind of rushed, and my one of my most important Pokemon was sniped at this point by the third round, which was kind of sad. But yeah, my third pick is going to be Bronzong. My third pick, of course, was going to be Latios, and it was going to be Umbreon at this point because Umbreon was going to be my 100% cleric for the season. Had it last season, won me a championship. It was great. I ran taunt Umbreon for a championship game so I can like wall a Toxic Spike Dragalge because my opponent Brian, who made it to the championship, always brought Toxic Spikes in that thing because it always forces a lot of switches. So it was pretty smart to bring like a special defensive Umbreon and kind of like handle that thing pretty well. It was good times. But anyways, I drafted Bronzong, and this gives me a second Psychic type. And as you'll see, as my next pick, I'm gonna draft the third one. So as a result, I'm gonna be really like weak to knockoff spam, and I try to weaken my knockoff spam weakness, but as a result, I kind of make it stronger. I don't really make it any weaker by any means. So at this point, I was kind of salty after the draft, like, oh my god, what am I gonna do with these what am I gonna do with these Bronzong and Celebi and Latios? What am I gonna do? And then I started thinking about ideas. I was like, you know what? I'm a good battler. I'm a good preparation guy. I can think way ahead. So I decided I'm gonna work with this, and once week 3 comes around, I'll try to, make a better team. I already have ideas, but I'm not going to give away, of course. But yeah, look at my boy Bronzong. Lou used it last season, used it in the Ubers League. No, that was King that used it in the Ubers League, excuse me. But yeah, Lou used this against me, brought a defensive set with Rock Slide, but I know Lou more than almost anybody else in the league next to probably, Flame or Matt. And I knew he was going to bring a Colbert Rock Slide Bronzong because he brought rocks. He used Bronzong and VGC once before, and he brought Rock Slide, so I knew he got Rock Slide. And look at his typing, and it's like the chance of him bringing it, and I knew what the kind of battler he was, so I was like, he's gonna bring Colbert Rock Slide, and he did. It was pretty fun, good times. But yeah, this Pokemon's really cool. It gets access to Calm Mind, gets Ancient Power, gets Psychic, gets Earthquake, gets Explosion, Dual Screens, Stealth Rock, gets Garble, and with its low base speed tier, it's definitely really powerful, especially against super high speed base Pokemon such as, Mega Lopunny. I'm pretty sure Gyro Ball would do much more than any other Psychic stab I could possibly hit it with. Besides, Zed Headbutt. Maybe Zed Headbutt would do more, but I don't know. I'd have to calculate. But anyways, this thing gets a lot of things that can potentially help me later on. Explosion is really, really cool when I think about it now. It gets Grass Knot, which is definitely kind of cool. Its base stats are pretty good. Its worst base stats is speed. I'm not even going to include speed because we know it's slow. Its worst base stat is its HP, which is 67, which even then is not too bad. Because its base defensive stats are 116 on both sides, 89 base attack, and 79 base special attack, which is not bad. That is not bad. Let me assure you guys. 89 base attack is definitely good to work with, and 79 base special attack is really good to work with as well. Trust me. And yeah, I decided to use Bronzong. I had Bronzong in another league, and it's always really pulled through for me. It's never really let me down. It does what it needs to do. It gets Heavy Slam. I forgot about Heavy Slam. Just gets Iron Head, so I can just deal with any fairy types. It gets Rock Polish, which is bad. It gets Shadow Ball, Signal Beam. It gets Trick, which I've seen King bring Trick before. It's pretty cool with like Iron Ball. It's really powerful. I like it. I like the idea. It can screw with like a really fast Pokemon. It's not a bad idea. But yeah, I got my Dragon Steel Fairy Core done. Am I satisfied with this? Not at all. In fact, I'm like really, really. I'm still like pretty I'm still unsure about what I'm actually gonna do with my ragtag team as I have right now. But as my fourth pick, I'm gonna go into Celebi. What can I not say about Celebi besides the fact that it's weak to like every move in the game and it has great base stats and great move pool. It has pretty much every single TM in the game. It's not every single TM, but a good amount. It's not shiny. It's not there's no shiny form in existence yet technically, so that kind of sucks. But in base 100 stats across the board, it has access to baton pass, sword stats. It's a scald switch and any status switch at that really. I can switch into like Rotom Wash easily. I can switch into Rotom. I can switch into pretty much almost every single Rotom except Rotom Heat, and I could possibly even switch into Rotom Fan if it's not carrying Air Slash. But that's just no one has Rotom Fan anyway, so it's okay. But you know what I mean. It has Energy Ball, Nasty Plot, Baton Pass. Baton Pass is just as good as U-turn Volt Switch because it works the same way technically, except you don't get any damage output. But I like Celebi. Like Miguel said it himself, this thing lives U-turns. It lives non-stab U-turns from offensive Pokemon because it's just that good. If it's like a super strong bug type, like I'm sure Ninjask actually kills him if U-turn if it's banded. In fact, I don't even think it needs to be. I don't think it needs to be banded, but you know what I mean. Like it lives a lot of U-turns from a lot of Pokemon. It lives a lot of super effective hits. In fact, it walls a lot of super effective hits. Like this thing is a good wall to like Pokemon such as like Mega Swampert. Mega Swampert cannot touch this thing really well. Even if it's like a special attacker with Sludge Wave or a physical attacker with Ice Punch, it doesn't do a lot. So, or physical. I mean, special attacker with like Hidden Power Bug. That might be like crossing it though. But yeah, this is my first 4 picks. I have my Fire, Water, Grass Core. No, well, I'm about to get it done, but you know what I mean. I have I'm pretty much almost done. And at this point, I'm 4 picks in. I'm kind of like mad at myself because I'm like, oh my god, I've dug myself a 10-foot hole and I'm not really getting any closer to climb back up. In fact, I'm probably gonna make it 2 feet more deep if I keep going at this rate. Excuse my grammar, but it's like 10 o'clock at night, and at this point, I'm just trying to think. Okay, I need to think. I need to pick a Pokemon that can handle Dark types. It can be, offensive to the Dark. It can be a good offensive check to Dark types. It can be a defensive check to Dark types. Some of them at least. So that influences my 5th pick, as it's going to be Embor, otherwise known as Bernardo, and by Miguel. And what can I not say about Embor? Besides the fact that its speed isn't that good, base 65. It's not bad either. You can work with base 65 to handle like super defensive walls like super bulky steel types, super bulky water. You know what I mean? But yeah, base 110 HP, which is insane. Yeah, base 65 defenses. It's not that good, but the base 110 HP, you can really work with those defenses, and that base HP makes you good to being like pretty bulky. You got great offensive base stats: 123 base attack, 100 base special attack, and this fire pig, it gets skulled. I don't know why, but it does. Would I bring it? I might to deal super good damage to like I don't know. I have no idea actually. What's 4 times weight to water? Let me think. I don't know what's 4 times weight to water on the top of my head. Macargo. No one has Macargo. What am I saying? No one has Macargo. No one really has a lot of 4 times weight Pokemon in water, but that's not my point. This thing has great. This thing is a great Pokemon. It gets bulk up. It gets earthquake. It gets fire. It gets it gets flare blitz. It gets fire blast. It gets focus blast. It gets flamethrower. It gets fire punch. It gets flame charge. So you get booster speed, it gets grass, it gets gyro, it gets head smash, it gets a hammer, arm, it gets iron hit, it gets low kick, it gets overheat, poison jab, power punch, it gets rest, it gets return, roar, rock slide, it gets stone edge, it gets sucker punch, it gets taunt, it gets thunder punch, it gets wild charge, it gets will o wisp, it can be bulkier than you already can be. What can I not say about this? This thing is a definition of being one of the greatest fire types that you can pick in league format because of how diverse it is. It's just amazing. You can run Assault Fest. You can run defensive for my Dark type weakness. You can run offensive for my Dark type weakness. You can run like a setup sweeper or flame charge. Does it get so? It gets like probably work up. You can use work up, I guess. Yeah, it gets work up. Yeah, you can work with work up. It gets bulk up, which is probably better. Bulk up flame charge. You never know. Yeah, I mean, this thing is just so diverse. I'm excited to use it. Really, like this is such an interesting Pokemon. Like I never really thought about using Ambor up until this season, and I'm excited to use him. But yeah, 5 picks so far. Dragon Steel Fairy Core and Fire Water Grass Core is done. So at this point, I already know my main cores are done. I have 4 I have no, I have 5 picks left up to this point. So at this point, I'm thinking I want for the rest of this draft, I want to pick Pokemon that I know I'm going to be comfortable with. Something that fits my playstyle. My playstyle is Volt Turn, but lately I've been getting used to bulky offense. I kind of like bulky offense. It's won me championships. Won me my last championship. Even though I had, volt switch of Rotom Heat. I didn't really have much of a U-turn, so I guess I consider it more bulky offense. But that's just my opinion, of course. But this season so far, it's looking like bulky offense. But you'll see my later picks, it could be both really. So that's good. It makes me kind of unpredictable, and this team is kind of bad, so that kind of helps. My sixth pick overall is gonna be Sharpedo. I'm never bringing Ruskin. Let's face it. Okay, it's Speed Boost. Speed Boost Sharpedo. What can I not say about this thing? Look at its base stats. Its base that defenses. What can I say? They're awful. Absolutely awful. I don't live anything. I don't think I live a bite from a Rattata. But it has good base speed with speed boost to help it out already. Great attack, 120. What can I say about base 120 attack? That's amazing. Base 95 special attack. What can I say about base 95 special attack? Well, let me look at his special attack roll real quick. It gets darkness. It gets ice beam. It, it gets blizzard. It gets blizzard for God's sake. Can you think about that really quick? Blizzard. It gets Destiny Bond. Destiny Bond, that's genius. Just genius right there. Ladies and gentlemen. It gets Poison Jab for fairies. It gets Hydro Pump. It gets Super Fang. So I can deal with like if I predict like a Tangrowth switch, I can go for Super Fang and do so much damage. I wonder if that works with Life Orb. I wonder. Does Super Fang work with Life Orb? I don't know. Wait. I might find out later on in the season. Never know. It gets Skull, best move in the game. It gets all the hidden powers, of course. And what kind of I don't know what does it get. It gets you never know. Some of these useless moves may be okay. It gets Natural Gift. I can work with Natural Gift. That's actually a pretty cool idea. If I get walled by something. Yeah, it gets. We're not allowed to bring Swagger. I'm pretty sure. It gets Icy Wind, which is bad. It gets Bounce. It gets Bounce. Think about that. It's like if a fighting type does not have Mach Punch, I can bounce and do a lot of damage. Think about that. A bouncing shark. Think about that. Don't think about Sharknado. Think about a bouncing Sharpedo. Half a shark just bouncing. That's crazy, man. But anyways, we're gonna go on to our seventh pick. My seventh pick is Licky Licky, and at this point, people are like, "What the fuck are you thinking?" Well, let me tell you guys something. Base 110 special. What am I saying? Base 110 HP, same base HP as Emboar, giving it the opportunity to be bulky already. Then you look at its base defenses, 95 on both defense and special defense. With base 110 HP. That means this Pokemon will never die in a one hit unless it's like a banded close combat from like a Sock or any offensive fighting type at that. And even then, I can run Shovel Berry. This thing gets counter. Let me show you guys something. This thing, it gets counter. So, banded, Shovel Berry. If I have a Shovel Berry and I go for a banded close combat, you are dying. Let me tell you that right now. But yeah, Licky Licky. Really cool Pokemon. I like it. And why did I pick Licky Licky? For one and one reason only, really. It gets Wish, and it gets Heal Bell. It gets both those moves. So, and let me show you guys something too. It gets Curse. It gets Sword Stats. It gets Power Whip. It gets Power Whip. I don't even get walled by rock types. It gets Ice Beam. It gets Ice Punch. Think about that. It gets like all the elements. It gets Dragon Tail. It gets Explosion. Stab Explosion. Think about that. It gets Flamethrower. It gets Fire Punch. It gets Fire Blast. It gets Skywolf. It gets Hammer Arm. It gets Knockoff. It gets Power Up Punch. It gets Rock Slide. It gets Seismic Toss. Shadow Ball. Surf. Thunder. Thunderbolt. Wish. Sand Headbutt. Thunder Punch. It gets Amnesia. Boost my special defense even more. It gets Belly Drum. I can run Salisbury Belly Drum for all I know. Even though that is awful. I need to be like Jolly out speed like anything in the base 100s. But if they're not scarfed. But yeah, this thing is really, really cool. I really fell in love with this Pokemon. I felt like it was a steal. 2 points. Oh yeah, I'll take this. I'll take this Pokemon for 2 points. What's wrong with taking this Pokemon for 2 points? Even if it turns out to be a flop, it's 2 points. I can easily trade it for something else. It's not that bad. And Licky Licky, I felt like it was my diamond in the rough. Even though I haven't played a game so far yet. But yeah, I felt like this is a Pokemon that might be my saving grace up to this point. So yeah, after Licky Licky, I had my 8th pick overall, and for some reason this monster is still available. I picked Staraptor. Staraptor, what can I say about Staraptor? Well, let me tell you. This thing has 120 base attack, which is okay, I guess, but when you look at its ability known as, Reckless, and this thing gets Stab Brave Bird and Stab Double Edge, you start to think, oh my god, what's I switch into a Banded Staraptor with Reckless, with Double Edge, and Brave Bird besides Defensive Do Blade? I don't know, man, you tell me. Maybe Regirock with... But Regirock can, take a ban in close combat if it wants, even though I'm not going to carry close combat ever in any week, probably. I'll probably carry U-Turn Brave Bird Yeah, double legend, maybe Roost, predicting the switch. I don't know. This Pokemon, what's really bad is that it's always going to be physical because let's face it, base 50 special attack is not going to get the job done, no matter what, and no matter what situation. Even with Heat Wave, I don't think that's ever going to work. But it gets Final Gambit. This thing has a good base HP stat. Two, no, I can go up to 374 HP. That is a lot of HP. Let me tell you that, guys, right now. It gets the fog. It gets the fog. What can I say about that? It gets the fog. That's amazing. It gets facade, so you can't even burn me. You have to risk that. It gets pursues. I can kill like Gengars if they don't predict it. I can go for a stab return if I don't want to get recoil, even though double edge is definitely better in every world, no matter what. Gets agility. I can go for agility, be a life orb set, and destroy everything. Gets whirlwind, gets U-turn, gets tailwind. It gets sleep talk, so I can be bulky with like intimidate with like Braver, Roost, and U-turn, which isn't even a bad idea now that I think about it. It gets close combat, it gets detect, it gets Final Gambit, like I said. It gets heat wave. I'm never using it, let's face it. And but yeah, Staraptor. It could be defensive with intimidate, it could be offensive with a band with reckless. Not much more I can say about that. But I was really happy to get it as my eighth pick. If it doesn't work, I could easily trade it for something else, especially since it was worth so much points. I do have the opportunity for trading it if I don't feel like it fits in my last two Pokemon, which I wanted from the very beginning. Even this Raichu, yes, I wanted Raichu as my last pick. But yeah, my ninth pick, I finally picked my Mega Pokemon, Mega Beedrill. I used this Pokemon back when I was first starting Counter Team, and it performed really, really well for me. It's not that bad, even though it's kind of weak to like any type of priority in existence except Vacuum Wave and Mach Punch. And it's really good. It has the strongest U-turn the entire game with adaptability U-turn. It gets Poison Jab. It gets Toxic Spikes. Shout out to George. And it gets Drill Ring. It gets the Fog. It gets Baton Pass, which is bad unless I ran like a Sword Sense set. It gets Giga Drain, but base what? Base 15 special attack. Yeah, let's face it. And but yeah, I'm always gonna run physical. Gets knockoff, gets pursuit, gets return, gets tailwind, gets X scissor if you want more power. Even though I've never ran X scissor my entire life because U-turn gets the job done. But it's just so powerful. I love Mega Beedrill. I've used it so many times in the meta and in counter team, and it always performs to its top potential. And I love it. I think it's really great. And I was happy to get it as my ninth pick. And even if I didn't get it, I was gonna probably pick something along the lines of like Mega Medicham, so I can have good priority with huge power. Two huge power Pokemon on my team would have been pretty fun in my opinion. But Mega Beedrill gets the job done as well. But my last Pokemon is the good old hated Raichu. Shout out to Lieutenant Surge with double team Raichu. Fuck you, literally. But this Raichu gets Volt Switch, Thunderbolt. It gets Volt Tackle. Base 90 special attack. I can easily work with that. Oh shoot, no, get out of there. Okay, it gets Nasty Plot. Think about this, guys. It gets Nasty Plot. That is crazy. That's crazy. It gets Extreme Speed. It gets Fake Out. But we're not running Fake Out. This isn't VGC 16. Forget it. But it also gets Brick Break. I can use it. It gets Focus Blast. Brick Break might even be a better option than Focus Blast sometimes. It gets Nuzzle, so if I want to, die, I can paralyze something, not get taunted, and, kill it. Well, paralyze it. I'm never going to kill with Nuzzle. Mark my words. And it gets Wild Charge, even though Volt Tackle is definitely the superior, even though you take more HP, but that's my opinion. It gets Charge Beam, so if I don't want to run Nasty Plot, I can run Charge Beam. And this thing is a really good, check to, like, Crokun, who shout out to Yams who sniped two of my picks. I'm looking forward to definitely kicking his ass later on. But anyways, it gets Extreme Speed, Fake Out, Nasty Plot, Thunderbolt. It gets all the electric type moves you can think of. Volt Switch, Thunderbolt. It gets Volt Tackle. Volt Tackle is great. Don't hate on Volt Tackle. That's actually really decent. And for some reason, my attack is lower than my special attack, even though it's the same base thing. What the hell? Showdown, I don't understand you. But and what I was gonna say about my draft, at the end, it's awful. It's really bad. This is possibly one of the worst teams I've ever drafted or ever used. I have taken over two teams my entire life, and they have been normally pretty decent. And my drafts myself have been really good, but that's normally. Even my last team wasn't that bad. With like Skarmory and like Umbreon and Clefable. That was a good team last year. I really liked it, but this team, it's not that good in my opinion. I have Azumarill. I was glad to get it. I have Bronzong, Celebi, And a lot of y'all sound like gross. Where's my pursuits? The pursuit trapper just destroys me. But I was happy to get Embor and Sharpedo and Licky Licky. I was so happy to get Licky Licky. And I was just happy to get all these Pokemon overall. Like I think my team looks a lot better on paper than a lot of people are ranking me so far. But that's just my opinion. I do rank myself as a good battler. I've proved time and time again that I can win championships consistently and make it to playoffs and win consistently, even though there are times where I do lose quite a bit of games because I either do not prep or just don't have the motivation at that given moment of time for who knows what. But yeah, by the way, these are my other teams that I've used. In fact, this team I ran against. Which team was this for? The Hidden Power Fire. This was for freaking. Oh, this was for Jack Fitz. Hidden Power Steel was for Mega Dance. That was fun. But yeah, I'm happy to with my team, and I actually I faced Brian. I faced Brian week one, and let me read this. He actually has my boy Mega Pinsir, who I used last season, which was kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I get to face my own Pokemon that brought me to the championship and won a championship. So now I get to face to face and see how I go up against my devilish side of myself, known as Mega Pinsir. He also has Thunder's Eye, Dog Trio, Metagross, Flygon, Conkeldurr, Sneasel, Greninja, Quagsire, and Tangela. His only hazard removal Pokemon is a Diffogger, and it's Flygon. So I'm happy to take. I'm pretty excited to take advantage of that. And I'll see you in my team builder. And Brian, if you see this video, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for that 1-0 I'm coming for my 1-0 start. And we'll see what happens. Thank you guys for watching. And if you actually watch, all 27 minutes of me rambling and rambling, leave a like and subscribe, comment, even if it's a BS comment about like how gay I am. It's cool. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.